This video demonstrates an ADEX dental examination utilizing the competent and simulated patients for all procedures. We strongly advise candidates to read all examination manuals and preparatory materials for guidance on criteria, content, scoring, and general expectations. Good morning. It's exam day. Remember to provide a school or government-issued photo identification and your candidate ID number to receive the materials for your examination. Your arrival time will be posted in your candidate profile. Your day will start by setting up your operatory. Check in for the examination when the clinic floor examiner lets you know it's time to do so. You will receive a sheet of labels, a white envelope containing your examination forms, and a typodont box. Once the examiner places your ID label on your typodont box, you may return to the operatory to continue setting up. When you have returned to your operatory, place your photo ID label on your outermost garment and place ID labels in the designated areas on the forms you received. This includes the white envelope. Included in the envelope are 2 cubicle cards. Place your ID label in the designated areas and fill in your candidate ID and cubicle number where indicated on your forms. Tape 1 cubicle card in your operatory. The other will travel with your typodont to the grading area. For this exam, you will be asked to diagnose and treat 2 lesions, one anterior and one posterior. A clinic floor examiner, or CFE, will present you with 2 radiographs. Each image will only have 1 lesion present. Evaluate the radiographs and diagnose both anterior and posterior lesions. Record your treatment plan on the anterior and posterior progress forms and present them to the CFE. If you have misdiagnosed either lesion, you will have a second opportunity to diagnose the lesion and submit an appropriate treatment plan. Let the CFE know which lesion you will treat first. The CFE will label your maxillary and mandibular competent arches and approve your mounting. You may continue setting up, but do not do anything intraorally until the exam has officially begun. The chief will announce the beginning of the exam at 8 a.m. Once the exam begins, all treatment must comply with CDC, OSHA infection control requirements. You may now begin treatment. A rubber dam must be in place for all procedures. You may remove the dam to check the occlusion of your restoration before submitting it for grading. Prepare the tooth to acceptable dimensions. If the tooth needs no other modifications, call over a CFE to review your paperwork. Your typodont will be sent for grading of your preparation. Your preparation will be evaluated by 3 calibrated examiners. If the prep needs modification beyond acceptable dimensions, use a modification request form to note each surface separately. To begin the modification request process, you will first certify the tooth is at the acceptable stage on the modification request form. Each submission must specify what, where, why, and how much of a modification you are requesting. You may request a range of dimensions. Refer to the manual for specifics. The CFE will review the modification request with you. Remove the maxillary and mandibular arches with the rubber dam in place and place them in the typodont box. The typodont box goes to the evaluation station with the appropriate progress form, modification request form, and cubicle card.
Runner, please.
Modification requests will be reviewed in the express chair. There, your request will be expedited in order to afford you the maximum working time possible.
One modification, the first one, was granted, so that means that you will be able to do it.
Okay.
Second modification is not granted.
Make the modifications as approved. If you determine the preparation needs a further modification, you may submit additional requests. Call a CFE when you're ready to submit your preparation for evaluation. Initial your progress form, indicating you are ready for a preparation evaluation, and note whether any modifications were requested and how many. Put the arch in the typodont box with the rubber dam in place. Along with your typodont box, you will also send the progress form, modification request form if you had one, and the cubicle card. When the typodont returns, the CFE will let you know if you can proceed to restore the prep or communicate any findings from the evaluation station. If the prep has been graded, The CFE will note it on your progress form, and you may restore the tooth. Call for a CFE when you have completed the restoration.
I'm ready for a restoration check.
You ready for the final restoration check?
Yes.
Okay. You can demount, please, and put it in the box.
They will review your paperwork with you. The Typodont arches will be placed in the Typodont box to be sent for grading, along with the exam forms and cubicle card. The CFE will check you out of the first restorative procedure and check you in for the second restorative procedure when the Typodont returns. Repeat the process for your second restorative procedure. Place the Typodont with both restorative arches back in the box. Put your paperwork in the white envelope and complete the checkout form printed on the white envelope. Take all these materials to the designated area to check out from the exam. Thank you for choosing the ADEX examination. Scores will appear in your candidate portal and be made available to state boards after final grading.